Hey, what's up, my Dragon Legion? How y'all been? So, there, Dragoons, today I got something very special for you Dragoons to check out today. Now, as you Dragoons know, for quite some time, I've been trying to get a Narukami Eradicator deck put together, and it's taken me like quite some time, and it took me quite a bit of time and patience, but finally, at last, I finally got together my Narukami Eradicator deck together. Keep in mind, I just got this deck together the day before this video right here is uploaded, so I have not got a chance to test play the deck yet. There's still some awesome things that I'm gonna do with the deck in particular, but I have ordered some other Eradicator cards in particular. So there is gonna be some weird changes I'm gonna be doing deck here and there. Some cool things every now and then. And some I'm very glad to do, some I'm very excited that I finally got going on this channel. And I think a lot of you Dragoons will agree with me when I say that this is going to be awesome to do on this channel from now on. I know some of you Dragoons who like Vanguard who have been looking forward to see Eradicators on the channel, and here it is. So, but after this video is over, I'm going to do some other weird changes to the deck, just to show you Dragoons some other ideas I had going on and such. And without further ado, let's go right straight to the deck profile, shall we, Dragoons? Alright, start off with your starting Vanguard. Oh, before I go any further deck profile, for those who do not watch my videos or who have never been subscribed to me up till after this video is uploaded, if you choose to subscribe to me, I just want to let those of you know right now, 80 to 90% of my subscribers don't know or don't care too much about Vanguard, except for like a few people in particular. So in case of those who do, in case of my subscribers, or as I call them, my Dragoons, do decide to change their minds and they want to check out my stuff, I'll be explaining some stuff every here and there. So for those who are new to Vanguard, please don't be like, duh, I know what this does and such. Please keep open mind. There's a lot of my subscribers, or again, as I call my Dragoons, who are part of this channel, who don't watch too much of my Vanguard stuff, and they don't know too much what I'm doing for Vanguard, so I gotta explain things point to point, just in case anyone changes their mind, they want to watch my Vanguard stuff. Okay, now that I got that out of the way. Start off with the starting Vanguard is one Ambush Dragon and Eradicator Lechun. He's your ideal starting Vanguard. His build is when you ride Narukami on top of him, you can call him a Vanguard, solo Vanguard to a separate rearguard circle. And his ability is Counter Blast 1, put his unit in the soul of your Vanguard. If he's boosting a unit and the attack is a hit, you can pay the cost. If you do, you can retire one of your opponent's grade 1. I think grade 1s is it? Yeah, one opponent's grade 1s or less units. Now this is a big step out, lot better version of the Spark Kid Drago Kid, because Spark Kid Drago Kid can only destroy Spark Edge Drago Kid. Spark Edge Drago Kid can only get rid of the back row, can only get rid of the grade 0 guys, and that's it. While this guy can hit anything grade 1s or grade 0s of your choice. And depending on what you're trying to do with your deck right here, he definitely allows you to combo with some options right here. So Ambush is definitely your good ideal starting Vanguard for this deck right here. And then for the trigger lineup, we have the four heal triggers. No explanation because it's your 4 heal triggers. And as most of you Dragoons would probably expect when I normally play Eradicators, or pardon me, when I normally play Narukamis, I'm doing the 4 draw and the 8 critical lineup right here. Now I'm doing this lineup right here because this deck is all about being aggressive, and it's all about trying to get in that damage as fast as you possibly can right here, and getting in that upper hand on your opponent as fast as you possibly can. And what's also good about this right here is by playing the 8 crits over the 4 draws over the 6/6, is that this gives you the ability to have a little bit extra defenses as well, because of the 10,000 shields, all that such. So it'll be a little bit easier to guard off the attacks, all that crazy good stuff right here. Now, what I may end up doing now in the near future is, just like what I normally do with my Kagero deck profiles, is I might try the 6/6, just see what happens. See if anything really different happens if I try that idea right now. But for now, I think 8/4 seems to be the way to go for now. It's something I've always been stuck with when it comes with the Blood Narukamis. So I may end up doing that a lot to the Eradicators, or I may do some changes depending on what else goes up. I don't know, just depends on what comes up in the near future. Alright, that's the trigger lineup. For the grade 1 lineup, we have the 4 Eradicator, Wyvern Guard Gold, your perfect guards. I don't think I really need to explain right here. And then 4 copies of Eradicator, Demolition,
And dragons, he's just your idea. He's just your idea beater guy and booster guy. When it comes to this deck right here, I would play Red River Dragoon, but he's not Eradicator, so I gotta play this guy right here. But he's pretty good early game too. His ability is when he attacks by himself. Oh, not by himself. When he attacks, he gains 3,000 power. So he becomes a grade 1 with 10,000 power on the first turn, which is pretty good right here. And even mid game, it's actually not bad. Because if you don't have a grade 2, you can always put this guy in front row. And when you swing with him, he becomes a 10k, which is pretty good right here. Especially when, depending on what your Vanguard is, and what your opponent's Vanguard is, and what the situation is, and depending on what you get on your drive check, you can give him some trigger powers, and he becomes a really decent beater by then. Next we have 4 copies of Steed-Blooded Eradicator Shukis. I apologize if I got the name wrong. This guy's pretty good right here. His ability is... His ability only works when he's a rear guard. His ability is whenever one of my opponent's cards have been put in drop zone from the field drop zone by one of my card effects, he automatically gains 3,000 power until end of turn right here. This guy is definitely very good when you're trying to use him to boost your Vanguard or as such. When you got Descendant or Gauntlet Buster Dragon rolling around really crazily, when serious amount of rear guards have been retired, this guy becomes a massive huge booster out of nowhere, or a massive good beat stick rear guard at the same time. Just depending on what goes up right now. And if you have something comes up where one of them is a front row and the other one is back row, and these guys are getting power, two of these guys alone can support each other, and they become really massive, huge, and gives you some huge, massive power on your board out of nowhere. And then to finish out the grade 1 lineup, the only deck of the entire deck that is not Eradicator, at least as of late right now, is 2 Rising Phoenix. Rising Phoenix, he's pretty good right here because this deck right here, you're going to be utilizing this guy right here, which will make you soul charge a lot, which is not bad. And Narukami's don't really need anything that involves a soul. So this guy's definitely pretty good right here. You get rid of 2 souls that you don't even need, and you get a free draw when you call him, which is always pretty good. Gives you some options of how to do some things right now and then. And what I also like to do with him is just like what I would do with Narukami the Blood, is I would ride into him since Ambush says it doesn't matter if the card you ride on top of him is Eradicator or not, as long as it's a Narukami. What I would do with him is just ride Rising Phoenix on top of him, and then I could just reserve my Eradicators and do some other stuff every now and then. So this is always pretty good right here to do every now and then. And that is it for the grade 1 lineup. For the grade 2s, now for the grade 2 lineups. This is where things get a little bit interesting. For the grade 2 lineups, I play 4 copies of Eradicator Spark Rain Dragon. Rain Dragon is like your ideal rear guard you want to have when you're playing this deck right here. His ability is when his unit attacks. While your Vanguard is Eradicator, he will gain 2,000 power. 3,000 power while he attacks. So right off the back, he becomes a 12 beater plus, depending on who boosts him and such. So this guy's definitely pretty good right here, which is pretty much like the Burning Horn Dragons, the Dusty Plasma Dragons. What's short word to call these guys? I want to call them the 12ers for now. Let's call him 12ers for now. He's pretty much a 12er, but what's so special about this 12er right here, in particular right here, is that most 12ers, before the subclan thing became a thing, your Vanguard had to be the grade 3 guy in order for you to get that 3,000 boost, where these 12ers, you can get the 12,000 power right now, because all the grade 2s and all the grade 3s you're playing are all Eradicators, so it doesn't matter what your Vanguard is, because your Vanguard is going to be Eradicator. So this guy becomes a 12 beater even before you get to your grade 3, which allows you to establish field presence and field control very well, very fantastically, and all that good such. And next we have 4 copies of Fiendish Sword, Eradicator, Chahu. And now this guy right here is like the Berserk Dragon and best scheme of Eradicators right here. For those who do not know what he does is when this card is placed in Vanguard or Rear Guard Circle, you can take one of your Narukami Rear Guards and put them in your Vanguard, and when you do so, you can retire one of your opponent's Rear Guards front row. Now this is very fantastic because this deck does. Pardon me. This deck does do a lot of crazy effects where you set a lot of your opponent's stuff to the drop zone very well, especially the front row. So this allows you to do so you can take care of so you can stop your opponent from intercepting and go right straight to your opponent's Vanguard
and just make your opponent take some huge amount of damage right out the back, which is very fantastic. And to finish off the Grade 2 lineup is 3 copies of Supreme Army Eradicator Satitan. If I said his name right, if I haven't, I apologize. What he does is while this unit is in Vanguard Rearguard Circle, as long as your unit is Eradicator, when his unit's attack is a hit. When his unit is while you have a Vanguard with Eradicator, his card name, choose a card from your damage, then turn face up, and then Soul Charge. And then Soul Charge right here. Now, this gives you the advantage of, this deck will be doing counter blasts a lot with your Descendant and your Gauntlet Buster Dragon a lot. So this guy right here will help you put your cards back face up and your damage go back face up. So you can be able to do more counter blast abilities and all that good such. And since you have, and like I said earlier about Rising Phoenix, since you are Soul Charging a lot, it'll give you some ammunition for Rising Phoenix to use, so you can get that free draw whenever you can. So yeah, that's all that really good is going on with the Grade 2 lineup. Now for the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3 lineup right here, we have... Now, before I go any further, I do have Violent Sword Dragon, but I'm trying out a build of Eradicators to see what would happen if I were to play a Eradicator Narukami deck without Break Ride or that such. Just see how it goes and all that such. I am interested in playing Break Ride, but for now I'm playing a build that does not have Break Ride. Just see what happens. And next we have, as I was about to say, for the Grade 3 lineup, we have 4 copies of Gauntlet Buster Dragon. Gauntlet Buster Dragon, in my opinion, is probably one of the best Narukamis we have yet. For those who do not know what his ability is Limit Break 4 whenever... Yeah, here we go. His ability is Limit Break 4 when your opponent's rear guards is put to the drop zone due to the effect of one of your cards. This unit gets +3 as a power and 1 critical until end of turn. Also, it has the ability of Counter Blast 2 cards with Eradicator and card name. Your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and retires it. So what's so amazing about this guy right here is that every time you retire one of your opponent's rear guards by any of your effects, by how as long as your damage is 4 or more, this dude automatically gets a critical and 3,000 power until end of the turn that rear guard's be retired. So this dude becomes really beefy pretty fast, depending on what you do right here. Also, he has a second ability that can be used in mid-game and all that creates good such. The ability where you make your opponent retire one of his or her own rear guards, it's very fantastic, very well. And just looking at his stats makes me want to play Violent Sword Dragon, because if I Break Ride him on top of Violent Sword Dragon, I get a free Break Ride. I get a Break Ride, which allows me to get a free retirement and 10,000 power. So right out of nowhere, this guy becomes a 23 beater with 2 crits. Plus, if I use his second ability twice, I can retire 2 more of my opponent's rear guards. Plus, this dude will become a 29 beater with 4 critical on his own. That will be just charging on your opponent, wrecking your opponent today. Very fantastically, very goodly. So, a very beautiful, amazing Eradicator, in my opinion, right here. And to finish off this Narukami Eradicator deck profile is 4 copies of a card that I've been diehard wanting to get for this deck, getting it for quite some time, and that is 4 copies of Eradicator Draconic Descendant. Eradicator Draconic Descendant, a gorgeous, a beautiful, amazing beast right here. For those who do not know what he does, he has Limit Break 4, Counter Blast 1 card, choose 3 cards with Eradicator from Eradicator and its card name from your hand, and discard them. At the end of the battle phase that this unit attacked, if the attack did not hit during that battle, you may pay the cost. If you do, stay in this unit, and this unit gets +1 critical until the end of turn. This ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn. Also, he has the ability of Counter Blast 2 cards with Eradicator's card name. This unit gets +5,000 power. So what this means is, if this guy is your Vanguard, if you swing with him at least once, your opponent will be forced to guard off the attack, or else it will be forced to deal with his massive ability. And if they want to take a chance with the massive ability, they may end up paying for it, because massive ability allows you to counter blast only 1 card and pitch 3 Eradicators, and by doing so, he can stand right back up with a free critical out of nowhere. Also, before you begin your battle phase, if you want, you can use the second ability, counter blast 2 cards. He gains he gains 5,000 power, and he becomes really beefier and really harder to beat out of nowhere. So when you go over right there, your opponent may be kind of forced to guard all the attacks, because if they don't, they'll deal with a second Vanguard attack, and they'll deal with 2 drive checks and all that crazy such that they don't want to deal with the Vanguard every single day. So this guy is a gorgeous, beautiful beast. This guy is so good. I believe if my memory serves me right, this guy is so good that in the OCG, you're only allowed 2 copies of Descendant per deck. Again, that's only based on my theory. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But that's just how good I think Descendant is, in my opinion, right here. So yeah. So that right there, Dragoons, was my Narukami Eradicator deck profile. I do have some changes and some ideas that I do plan on doing with the deck in the near future. I do love this deck right here, and I can't wait to play this deck when I can. And with that being said, let me know what you Dragoons think about this deck profile in the comment section down below. And I'll see you Dragoons around. Hope you Dragoons enjoy this video. Leave a like and a favorite if you did. And subscribe today to become part of the Dragon Legion Alliance. And I'll see you Dragoons another day. Christian Dragoon, signing out. Peace.